Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Movies harder than any movie you've ever seen before. Let's talk about it spoiler free. Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. I have just returned from the theater. I have my little Mission Impossible Final Reckoning popcorn bucket, my cup with the binoculars that apparently seem to work, like they are functioning binoculars, which I was able to get at the theater. There's a whole thing about that, but we're not here to talk about my collectibles. We're here to talk about how Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is the most movie that has ever movied. Really, this is a it was a great experience, and I'll get into this spoiler free. We'll have a separate video doing the spoilers. We'll have probably another video as well where I'll go through and rank the 8 movies for Mission Impossible. I have just rewatched them, but let me get a few things out of the way. First of all, do you need to have watched all 8 movies to enjoy this one? I don't think you do. Obviously, you will get a lot more out of it because there's so many callbacks, but the movie itself really weaves a lot of that stuff into its exposition. I think it does a pretty good job of refreshing your memory of like, what is this, or when did this happen, or who is this other person, whatever the case may be, right? Next thing, I feel like you do need at least to have watched Dead Reckoning. This was originally planned to be a part two, right? I think the studio or Tom Cruise or whoever, they decided to change the title and make it kind of like it's sound like a standalone movie, in order to not dissuade people that haven't seen the first one from going to the theater. Um, I will tell you, this is a long movie. It's almost 3 hours, I believe. 170 minutes to like 250. It's pretty long, and a long movie like this, it required two restroom breaks. So I'm looking forward to trying to catch this again just to see the few parts that I missed. But I mean, I'm pretty quick on the draw there. Um, Now let's talk about why this movie so much. And what I mean by that is that this really incorporates like every single movie trick that I think I know for a big blockbuster. You have the great action stunts, which we were expecting, but man, this one just throws so many out at you. Some of these sequences are super extended, extra long. They really let those breathe on their own. And I feel like if the stunt category for the Oscars was up for it next year, that this would definitely be nominated. There's some really incredible stuff. Now, I don't know exactly what the criteria is going to be for this stunt Oscar, but it's something that's very impressive. Like this is what they refer to as cinematic achievement, right? And it's just really great to see it on screen. Tom Cruise is a mad person. Like he just has, I don't know, like I don't know how much of this he was also involved in, like as far as all these stunts, but I've seen a lot of the background stuff and he's doing a lot of it. It's incredible stuff. Another thing that this movie just does so much that I love when movies do, whenever a character or a person pops up and you're like, oh crap, I didn't know they were in this movie. This happened so many times here. I was like, I've been following this pretty closely when it comes to the marketing, and there's a lot of people here that I still did not realize they were going to be in this film. Some really cool surprises, and I'm very much looking. Maybe I didn't pay attention well enough. That's probably the case, but man, oh man, I was really happy to see him. Like most Mission Impossible movies, this is actually kind of 2 movies into one, right? Most Mission Impossible movies follow this structure of like there's the original mission and then it's completed, but then that actually leads to the actual mission of the movie. So it's almost like setting up the shot and then taking the actual shot. This movie does that, and it does it, I think, overall pretty well. I will say the story itself is probably the weakest part of the film. It feels a little bit convoluted. It's a little messy when it comes to like who really is the antagonist in this film, as opposed to just seeing. But I mean, but it's all very well propped up by the incredible stuff. There's some really good performances. You get to see Haley Atwell again. You get to see Simon Pegg again. Of course, Tom Cruise, one of the standout for me, which I'll say now because it's pretty clear that she's in the movie. Palm Clementif, great stuff. But like I mentioned, just like so many other recognizable faces that just deliver. There was one sequence, and I'm not somebody that ever wanted to be an actor or be in movies, but I do love movies. And there was one sequence where I was like, man, I kind of wish I had been like an extra on this, just to see like what it feels to be part of a sequence like this. And it was nothing that was too crazy either. I'll probably talk a little bit more about it in my spoiler review. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. We had a pretty good audience, although the theater wasn't completely full, because I went Thursday very quickly, very early in the afternoon. Um, yeah, this was after watching these 7 films prior to this, a conclusion to this journey. I think it's very well earned. There's still some things that I don't think fully land. It's not a perfect film, and you can see by my score and letterbox that I definitely don't think this is a perfect film. Matter of fact, I think one of my favorite film is one of the ones from prior still. So come back for my ranking, so we can look at that. But yeah, I think you'll have a great time at the movies. Navigating the theater this weekend is going to be kind of a mess because there's also the Lilo and Stitch live action movie coming out. So, take your time, plan accordingly, and be patient with the theater employees. Um, Overall, really enjoy this. I think there's so many things that this movie has really grabbed from the prior iterations and try to emulate and do again and do even better. And some of it leads to some of the stuff that I mentioned where maybe the story feels a little mixed and chopped up, and it almost feels like they were kind of changing things up on the fly. But just to get I don't think it was built around the stunts, but I could definitely see a structure around the stunts being put together. But I don't mind that. I think overall we get a nice character arcs. We get some really fun action moments. We get some nice drama, some things that are, they're a little bit sad because obviously these movies are meant to evoke feelings. There's some stuff that's pretty funny, like a few moments where I was like, what the heck? This is a comedy now. But yeah, I think it all works because of the people involved and the people that really, really care. And I think your mileage will vary when it comes to all the callbacks to prior stuff. But if I've been living in this for like the past month and a half, maybe 2 months, right? I've been living in this Mission Impossible world. So yeah, very, very excited. I think you can watch all the movies on Paramount Plus. That's where I watch most of them. And then of course, make sure to go check this one out at the theater. I think I'll be going back. There's also like this briefcase popcorn bucket, and I know different theaters have other things, but usually I go to AMC. I like the tints because those are easy to store, but I could not pass up the glasses with the binoculars. They came as a combo, so that really worked out for me. So if you have seen Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite Mission Impossible movies are, and make sure to come back for my ranking for these. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.